Okay, wow, we're finally live. I had a little technical, I was trying to figure out the rotation of the video. It gives me this problem every single time, but I am super excited that you are here. Hello, hello. All right, all right. So just making sure really, really good. And again, I just wanted to honor and thank those of you who are here for being here. And what we're going to do is we're going to wait just a couple of seconds, well, minutes for anybody else who needs to come because this is a safe space for anyone who wants to improve their equality, especially my sisters. Y'all know who you are, right? And Michael, please. All right, so that's for you, Dad. If you're listening, my daughter has been talking about you nonstop. No matter what I do, she has this communication that she has with you, and so there you go. Anyways, tonight we are going to be having a wonderful discussion. I'm super excited to be live and to be here talking to you all again. I know it's been a while. Life has, its own it takes a toll, and it takes a spin on its own sort of like thing. So you're just like, you can make all the plans you want to sometimes, but sometimes you just have to deal with life, right? And so that is kind of what I've been doing. And yeah, I had to prioritize some other things because video it would definitely take a toll on me if I was making a whole lot of videos every single day, coming live, posting on social media constantly like I used to be. That's when your girl really was just I had a whole lot less responsibilities. Right now, I have all very much more responsibilities, especially with all of the wonderful things that I am wanting to create and that I am creating for you all. And also that I'm desiring for myself, even outside of me being a fertility coach. So, with that said, for those of you who do not know me, I am Nattassia, and I am a holistic fertility coach. I specialize in helping women to activate their fertility naturally with feminine self care practices. So that's what we're going to be talking about. I know you may not have ever heard of anything from that sort of perspective before, especially when it comes to improving fertility or equality. But this has been my passion ever since I was a little child, not necessarily to become a fertility coach, but to always sort of be in the birth world or just deal with and reproduction. Just, okay, I think that's going to be a little better. Not sure what's going on. Okay, that might be a little better, but I still think, okay, look, there's a section that I'm going to be talking about decluttering and so some clutter. Okay, I'm a Pisces as well, so some of my clutter, it looks like clutter, but it's really an organized mess. Okay, so we're just gonna put it that way. So as you can see here, I have my water bottle, I have my tea, and I have my spray bottle for my hair. And over here, I have my daughter's clothes on her dollhouse. So it looks like, just clothes now. It's an organized mess. Don't worry about that. Right. But we're going to talk about dealing with clutter later on. So, if you are also someone maybe who is a Pisces, and I'm just going to try to adjust this just a little bit to get some of that shadow off my face. If you're also someone who's a Pisces and maybe told or you're messy or whatever, you have a lot of clutter and you're just trying to create more space. We're going to be talking about that at the end of the video. So don't watch that, watch this. All right. So again, thank you for coming here and for watching this video. So again, if you are wanting to improve your equality, wanting to improve your fertility, this is the video that you are going to want to see. And again, I was saying that I have always wanted to work in the birth field, birth world, ever since I was about 6 years old. And I guess just to dive into that while we wait for more people to come in the room, I see we have some people here already. Just to talk about that, ever since I was 6, I was mesmerized. Hey, just come. I was mesmerized by seeing women improving, women pregnant and are, um, again, with child and so forth. And so I like, I never understood, but it was always just something that was calling me, especially seeing women with pregnant bellies and things. And I would be staring, and I'm not one to really stare at people, but I just remember staring at women who are pregnant almost to an uncomfortable level. But it was because I was drawing to it, right? And so when I was about maybe a year later, like 7 or something like that, my mom had asked me what I wanted to be. And look, here's the magic in divine order. This is the magic. So my mom, she pulls out a book, and I kid you not, that it is like 5 bigger, okay, maybe not 5, maybe 3, this big, and it's just a book of occupations and job titles and descriptions and things like that. A lot of it is just like a listing, so it's like hundreds, if not thousands, in there. And I don't even know what she was doing in the book, but look, she's like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I was like, "Oh, I want to be a ballerina." And da 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 da. She's like, "My mom's from Jamaica, so they're Jamaicans and kind of like Africans are brought here." And told that we got to go to school, get a good education. The same thing a lot of people here are told, but like it's even more intense because the whole to have a better life, right? Here goes the internet. This is back in like 1990, so don't come for my mom, okay? She's a wonderful, loving woman, and if any of you meet her, you will know that, right? If you are blessed or graced enough to meet her and be in her presence, you will see that she is a very, very wonderful person. So with that said, so she's like, "Oh, you're not gonna make no money as a ballerina." And of course, who would know? 'Cause we didn't have social media and all these things back then, right? And of course, I was born in Canada, so like we don't have all of the examples to prove otherwise, right? Um, close back the door. Close back the door. Right. So, big, huge book. I open up the book and at a random, okay, not random, divine inspiration. I don't even know what you call it. Just a divine order. I'll just call it that. I point at the word obstetrician, right? So, obstetrician again is someone who helps to deliver babies or do a whole lot more cesareans and all of those things. Once I learned what that was, I wasn't comfortable with that. Because again, going to school, my mind was sort of set on, you know, doing that, right? But then when I learned, okay, an obstetrician may like perform C sections or, do other invasive activities, I didn't want any parts of that. So I sort of lost my way in middle school, high school, and like towards the very end, I had sort of came across again in the books, whatever, when you're trying to go on for college, that you can be a midwife. So I said, okay, I'll become a midwife. Long story short, I graduated with more credits than I actually needed to, but they weren't the right kind. So again, I lost my way again. And about 8 years ago, I said, okay, I learned about doulas. I had known about doulas. I had worked with midwives when I was in Toronto. Still, I actually volunteered at the midwifery clinic for about a year or so. Plus, I had a famous midwife there, and I had like 3 of my children with her. So I was really sort of incorporated in the midwifery world. So I knew about midwives and doulas before they were popular, before a lot of people knew about them. And again, this is Canada, so news does not travel like it does in the States, right? So I was very uh, grateful and graced to be able to have that information without it being common knowledge. So again, I knew about doulas. I said, okay, I will become a doula. But at the time, my life wasn't really sort of set up in a way where I could just leave my children in the middle of the night and especially during a full moon, because in the fertility community, during full moons is when a lot of women go into labor sort of like at the same time. So there was no way I was going to be able to do all that. So um I Okay, so I guess this is kind of going into how I became a fertility coach. So I I still was just posting on social media about fertility and birth before I even really knew what I wanted to be. And so I had a lot of social media pages. I had a lot on different like niches and things like that. I had like one on melanin. So I would post photos of like dark skinned women and I guess some men, but they were, things like that. And that one blew up to the point that I guess my account got hacked or something. I had like 6,000 likes on one photo. But anyways, I also had a fertility page, and it was also, it sort of like rekindled to focus on, right? And so I went with that, and I said, hey, I'm gonna stop all these other pages. I'm gonna just bring this in closer because my children are tripping. Hey, y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop. Okay, okay. You can't. I'm live right now. I don't want it. It's honey. So if I wanted to do, I know y'all hear me. So rekindle my remembrance of what I wanted to do. Now I gotta bring this higher. Close the door. Sorry about that. Okay, we're gonna get into what we're talking about. We're talking about reclaiming, restoring, and fertility. So we're gonna get into that in a minute. I just gotta work with these little, I haven't been live for a while. But oh, there we go. Sorry about that. We're gonna deal with that later. Like I said, we're gonna talk about that later. But this is what it is. Okay, we're live. Anyways, my Instagram page that I created, BlackFertility, at the time, it rekindled my remembrance of what I wanted to do and what I wanted to focus on, which again was fertility in the birth world, right? And so it was perfect divine timing because I haven't changed my mind or anything since then, right? And so I went with that, and I took a coaching course on how to develop this sort of inspiration and desire even further. And that was like a 6-month course with this another wonderful being that has been sent here on this earth, that if you all ever have the chance to meet, your life will only improve. And so my coach is Tracy Timberlake. She was my coach at the time. So if you're interested, I don't know if she still teaches those lessons or that coaching program. I think she has either upgraded it or sort of diversified. I know she diversified. But anyways, so it brought me to establish myself as a fertility coach even better, or just officially, right? And fertility, close the door, right? And so I did take some notes because it's like I want to talk about a wide range of topics here. I don't want anything to sort of be left unanswered, because it's the holiday season and there's like a lot of overwhelm and a lot of stress that a lot of you are facing and dealing with, especially when it comes to like societal pressure or just like family gatherings and so forth. So I just wanted to talk about what you can do and some things of that nature that can help you during this time, right? So I just want you to remember again that this is your time, right? This is your time to nurture yourself, to prioritize your womb. Don't be pressured and stressed out by what's going on in the world, which this is what happens around November every single year. People are running around mad in the store, shopping, and on top of that, dealing with all the pressures of the world, right? So this is your turn and your time to reconnect with your body and, really focus on that. All right, so we are going to talk about, so we talked a little bit about that. Okay, so what I wanted to do, I wanted to ask a question. I wanted to ask, what is one thing that you learned about your body this year? And I'll start because I posted on my Instagram page, I posted that what I learned about my body this year is that my body craves touch, connection, and comfort. These are 3 things. I've always been someone who is like, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't come near me, don't rub on me. And I've met people here that are very touchy-feely, very hugs and kisses and all that. And, Jamaican people, from my understanding, from what I've grown up around, we are not very touchy-feely people. We don't do the little kisses on the cheek every time we greet somebody. We'll hug and, we are very loving, but we sort of respect people's boundaries to the point where, maybe we can be a little starved for, I don't know, for touch. And I'm not saying that we are, because Jamaicans will come for me if I say that, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that we're not a very touchy-feely people, but I have noticed that within sort of this year, that is something that my body does sort of want. It's like I said, it's a big difference. Like if I'm sleeping in the bed with my children and they put their eyes on me, I'll be like, "Look, get your foot off me, don't touch me." Or of course, maybe that's everybody, but I would get ultra sort of sensitive to it and just annoyed and just bothered, and then I have to tell myself, this is my child, this is my daughter, it doesn't mean any harm. And some of this could be from past trauma that I may have dealt with when I was a child that I haven't fully resolved. Like in my mind, I've resolved it, but certain things, maybe what they say, you can heal some, but you still might have some scars. So I might got some scars. Okay, that's okay. It's nothing serious, but I've learned now that, to sort of embrace touch and embrace this sort of thing a little bit more than I am normally used to, or that is within my comfort zone, and I think I just got to a point where I just, I guess maybe it has something to do with COVID as well. I just really did sort of feel a little bit more isolated, a little bit more alone, and a little bit more ostracized from the world. And I think that also has something to do with the fact that I also pulled back from making my videos because I kind of had to, right? And so, just even with my children, I might hug them a little bit more. I might my sons, especially my younger children, they ask me every 30 minutes for a hug and for a kiss. And at first it was annoying. It's I would literally be like, okay, I'm gonna put a timer on my phone because they want a hug and a kiss every 30 minutes, right? But then I was like, okay, just embrace it when they come, or just offer it, and don't be so shielded. And a lot of it is not even so much that I'm shielded. I've been so much the type of work that is required for this fertility coaching, as well as if I am really wanting to focus on coaching other coaches, it can be really demanding. And that's one reason why I'm actually grateful for AI, even though a lot of people, they might be spooked out by it. I use AI. I ain't gonna lie. I use AI, but I hyper tailor my AI prompts and things like that, so that the output is always sort of my content. And as you can see, I'm making this video, but it's a compilation of inputs that I have given it that are unique to me, and I'm still putting my own spin on it, right? So I just basically have it all. But anyways, it just makes my life easier. And so that, because of the demand of, again, being a fertility coach, sometimes I didn't feel like I had time every 30 minutes to touch my children. But again, this is about you. And when I say touch me, I mean hug them and give them the hugs every 30 minutes. So I just wanted to ask, what is one thing that you've learned about your body that this year? I just wanted to share, to break the ice in case anybody was not comfortable. So I hope that wasn't too long, but that's just something there, right? And so, again, just sit and think about that, because it might not come to you automatically, because it didn't come to me at first when I thought about that question. It did take me a real moment to think about that. And I was like, wow, I actually have been craving touch, comfort, connection a little bit more this year. So and I think that the reason for that is it helps to reduce stress. It helps to calm the body. Did you close the door? Can you close the door, please? It helps to calm the body, calm the mind. Okay, it's closed. Just trying to make sure there's no extra background noise, right? It's reassuring. and again, comforting, right? So, oh yeah, it's cool. You didn't have to do this, sweetie. So yeah, it's just me, again, like I said, me with myself, I've always been like, I don't want nobody or need nobody sort of overstimulating me. And it could also be because I have a lot of children that maybe I was feeling overstimulated. But lately I've embraced that. You don't have to do that. Just walk. It's better if you just walk. If you start doing all type of weird stuff to be off camera, it's gonna pick you up. All right, so I just want to talk a little bit about the season that we're in, right? So this is a season of renewal and reflection and self-care. And a lot of people, they neglect that at this time of the year because, again, this is a very hectic, very busy year, especially if you are also not only preparing for Thanksgiving, but Christmas and the New Year. So this is like a triple load, right? All right, so you really want to focus on your relaxation. You want to focus on your rest. You want to focus on your self care. And this is going to help you to improve your fertility. So we're getting into the lesson now. So, you really want to, again, focus on your self care because that's what's going to help to balance out your hormones. It's going to help to stabilize your mood, and it's going to help to support your body in a way that sends a message to your body that you are cared for, that you are loved, that you are nurtured, that you're safe, that you do not need to be in fight or flight right now, because a lot of people are in that. And what I really want to focus on too in my practice is offsetting like these constant outside triggers that just like throw you off. Because if it weren't for all of these things going on outside of your home and your person, your mind, and your own body, you would be in a more stable, calm state of being. But because we have social media, we have these reels, TikToks, I find that these very short videos are very draining to your nutrients in your body. Okay, I'll get into that maybe in another video, but just to sort of be short with this, I think that these short sort of videos, and I'm talking like 15 seconds or less, a lot of what's being promoted on TikTok, social media, what has been promoted, I really do feel like they drain your focus so much that it pulls power from your brain that could be used in other parts of your body. So if you've been on social media, like say you spend a day on social media and then you find that you have a headache at the end of the day, that could be part of the reason, right? And so it's good to, again, focus on just rest, relaxation, know when to come off. Y'all stop. Know when to come off and practice something else instead, because social media is addicting. You have to sort of create a pathway in your brain where you get pleasure, because that's what's happening. You're getting pleasure from the short videos, right? So you got to create pleasure in your life, in your mind, creating your pathway that is going to give you pleasure by doing something that's actually beneficial for your fertility, right? So don't look at, okay, so let me just make sure I'm about to say this right. But so I'm not reading off the script. Again, this is all coming from me. So what I want to say is don't look at this time of the year is something that you need to fight against. Like, you're not going to fight the new year. You're not going to fight the Christmas overwhelm. You're not going to fight the new year or the Thanksgiving demand. If you're going to go to the family gathering, you're going to go and, know that there might be some stares, or there might be some conversations. There might be some things said about you not having a baby or whatever your fertility situation. You might see somebody who's pregnant. You're going to, so, be prepared to embrace that. Don't fight against that. How you deal with that, though, is having something in place that is going to help you to stay level-headed. It's going to help you to stay, and it's going to help you to make sure that you're prioritizing care, so that way you feel loved, and you feel like at a normative state that is balanced for you, right? And that's, again, not to say that you're not going to have any emotions or you're not going to feel any type of way at any of these, in any of these situations. It's just saying, knowing that you know how to get back to you, right? So knowing, come close the door better, you didn't close it. Knowing that you have something in place that is going to help you get back to a normative state, which is not stress, it's not overwhelm. So you need to create a normative state in your life that is peaceful, that is harmonious. And you do that by prioritizing your self-care and by using this time to reflect on the season that we're in and the demands that your body is requiring, and to also embrace this renewed type of energy, because we're at the end of the Georgian calendar year, right? This is actually, more like a sleep sort of state, or a dormancy state, where things are sort of, quote unquote, I guess I can't use that word, but things are, we'll just say, resting. Things need to be put to rest while other things are going through their phase in life where they are transforming. So, for example, I've been gardening lately, and I really encourage you to start a garden if you're on your fertility journey. So I've been gardening lately, and there's certain seeds, especially a lot of trees and different, like stone fruit and like different seeds. They need to go through a sort of frost phase or a very cold phase, where the seed is sort of it's hit with very cold temperatures for about 6 weeks. One way to do this is to put things in the freezer, put the seeds in the freezer, and then you can put it in the ground. It helps. I can't remember what the name is called. It's like frosting or something like that. Anyways, so so even though it looks like we at the end of the year and things are being put to rest, things are transforming. So these seeds that fell from the tree or the plant this year that are going to be ready for next year, they're going through their transformation stage when they get put into that sort of frost or that freeze or whatever dormancy, right? They're still transforming. So this is your time for you to create your transformation, right? For you to focus on what you want to bloom into next year. So I know it's a lot of chaos, a lot of hecticness going on. Again, just remember, it's your time to transform, right? And so one of the ways to do that is, again, to really get hyper focused on what it is that you really want, right? Not what your family wants, not what society is telling you that they want for you, but really what it is that you truly want. And if you're commenting, I'm really sorry. I need to figure the comment section is, and I don't want to start clicking things too much and then ruin the live. But before I end the live, I guess I will try to see where the comments are, and because I'm doing this on my phone, not a computer, of course. So yeah, focus on, again, your renewal, and reflect. Reflect this instead of trying to fight the season or fight other people's what they're going through. Because for some of them, maybe they think their life is better when really they're just using a moment of a gathering for a family to sort of just to vent. So sometimes you just got to take that with a grain of salt, right? So just to share, I just want to say, so again, all right, yeah, wow, it's crazy how I just naturally just float into that. But so all right, so with that said, one question that can sort of help you do that is to ask yourself, what area in your life in this season are you ready for renewal, right? So what area in your life in this season are you ready for renewal, or something new, or a transformation? And you could just take a moment and just write that down. So I'll just say it one more time. What area in your life are you ready for renewal, or a transformation, or something new? So it could be any area. Okay, this could be work related, business related. It could be spiritually related. It could be food or nutrition or diet related. It could be emotionally related. Maybe you're ready for a change in your emotional state that you may have been in for a while. This could be, um, again, self-care related. It could be, maybe you're ready to up your self-care practice. Maybe you're ready to, and this could look like a lot of things. It could look like growing your hair out naturally. It could look like taking better care of your skin. It could look like, pampering yourself, having a sort of bedtime routine or a bath time routine where you're not just taking showers and you're actually, relaxing in a warm bath, sometimes with like some Epsom salt or essential oils or something. So self-care mindset. Are you ready for a change in your mindset? So just to give you some ideas, it could be physical fitness, movement, whatever the case, just to give you some ideas as something that you can write about what you're ready for, as something that you want to, shift or transform in your life, right? And so another question for you is, how can you create space, for what you truly desire? So, if you want any of those things or something I haven't mentioned, how can you create space in your life for what you truly desire? Because that's usually the problem. We want things, we desire things, we wake up first thing in the morning thinking about them, but as time goes by, and life again is life and it has a mind of its own, there's no space for those things, right? Because other things are taking up space. In order for me to make this video, in order for me to make this video, I had to not play my little Monopoly game that I have been playing on my phone. I've always loved Monopoly. Me and my family, my mom, my sister, we used to play Monopoly all the time. And when I got this phone, it was on this phone. Not playing in the studio, it's not, it doesn't look like the real thing, blah, blah. But I've been playing that thing. The thing is kind of addicting. Oh my God. So in order to make this video, I definitely had to, take a little break from that game. I realized that game is for people that have 9 to 5 jobs. It's not necessarily for people like me. It's for people that have 9 to 5 jobs. And, once work is done, they just play the game, or they play the game on their break or something, and they just spend their whole check on it. I'm not about to spend no money on this little game. Just, it's just something to do. But anyways, you got to create space. That's all I'm trying to say. You got to create space for what it is that you truly want, right? And so it could be something like that you don't think that is taking up a lot of your time, because maybe you're getting pleasure from it. Again, what can you create? What can you do to, derive pleasure from something else that is beneficial for your fertility, right? These are things to think about. And I wish I had written some of this stuff on the board for you. Let me know if you want me to start writing on my board, do those kind of teachings more. I normally just talk sort of off of, whatever's on my mind. And I do take notes sometimes, but I usually rarely write my notes, in that sort of teaching format, because sometimes I just create the workbooks instead. But who knows? I probably, so next time, I guess I'll just turn and do it. I don't know. I don't feel like doing that right now. But if that's something that you want, I can sort of change up my teaching style just a little bit, because I don't mind. But yeah, so think about, again, how can you create space for what you truly want? Because we can say you want all those things, but if you haven't created the space, there's not going to be any room for it. But what it will do, it will take up space in here, which can, throw things off. It can create stress. So if you don't look, so here's the thing. I'm giving you 2 simple prompts. Where are you ready for, change and transformation in your life? Something new, something renewed. And how can you create space in your life for that? But here's the thing. If you don't create the space, and if you don't sort of answer the question of where in your life you are feeling like you need, something different, subconsciously, your brain may already have it, set that you need something new, or you desire something new and you want it, and you don't have the space for it. So that creates internal stress. That's going to create cellular stress. It's going to create energetic stress, stress in your emotional state, and that can lead to physical stress. Okay, physical stress that can affect your eggs, which are the largest cell in your body. So you really want to take this seriously. I know I'm just talking, but really, really write that out. Okay, and I'm just gonna write it out for you just to make sure, just to give you some space. I'm gonna give you space. I'm gonna give you space by writing it out. So hopefully you can see this. So what areas of your life feel ready for renewal? And then number 2 is, how can you create space for what you truly want? So how can you create space for what you truly want? So those are just 2 questions that I really want you to take time and answer. Is that backwards? You know how this camera is sometimes. So that looks backwards to me, but you get the point. That's another reason why we won't do this. I got to figure that out. All right, so let me get this done. But we tried, right? So again, the reason I did that is because I don't want you to hear this. Because now it's like, now you know, right? So now your brain's really going to go crazy if you don't sort of address this. So I just wanted to take that time to write it out so that way you can really sort of answer that, right? So that way your body's not creating stress, any more stress in your life. Because this is actually, the answer to this is going to help to calm your mind. By you writing it down on paper, it's going to get it out of your head. And then you're going to be in a more relieved state, right? Which brings us to the next point, which is relief from holiday overwhelm. Okay. So we talked about that, how, in this video, I wanted to talk about relief from holiday overwhelm through pampering yourself with self-care activities, right? And so we talked a little bit about the demands of the holiday, the work related and social pressure, our family pressures. But I wanted to offer some insights into how, again, just some more tips on how you can sort of offset this, right? Because we talked a little bit about how you can have something in place that's like your normative state. And so now we're going to talk about like how you create that normative state, right? And so one technique that I have been practicing lately is deep breathing. And this is not something that I have always sort of been doing. But there, early in my sort of fertility practice, or before I really established myself as a fertility coach, I found myself doing everything that I teach in my programs now, but like for somehow, like just, and it's like, it's in us, it's in you. The solutions are in you. I found myself doing the deep breathing, doing yoga, meditating, doing central movements, or moving my body in certain ways that were relieving stress. And I was doing this without the books. There was no TikTok, or at least I didn't know about it, without the videos. So a lot of the answers really are inside you. But what I've been sort of doing lately, what I've sort of reincorporated into my life lately, is deep breathing, right? And so deep breathing, the thing about breathing is it helps to release toxins from your body, and people do not necessarily know that about 70% of toxins can be released from your body through the breath alone. And if you think about it, you are breathing in fresh air, so why wouldn't you breathe out toxic, stale, old air, gas, and we're constantly breathing, so it might not seem like that, but really you're breathing out negative, I want to say negative emotions, like you're breathing. And the reason I say that is because I have a what you call a tech neck or dowager's hum or whatever, and part of that's because I've always been on the computer ever since I was a child. Because my dad's a computer programmer, so I've always had a computer, and sort of that being like this or pushing a stroll all the time has sort of developed a hump in my back. So I have been massaging it down, and the other day I did that, and I could feel the negative energy. Like I got mad, I got angry just from doing that because I haven't done it in such a long time, and I got angry. And so, if you ever hear someone say that, the womb, and I say this all the time, the womb stores energy, it stores trauma. Believe that of course, you will have to maybe see it for yourself. But the womb is not the only place that stores trauma. Your lungs, your heart, your body, anywhere you have, if you've experienced trauma in your life, it's being stored in your body. So your breath, you can breathe out some of that negative emotion, negative energy, toxicity, trauma, any type of sort of thing that does not need to be in your body, right? And the problem is we're not always deep breathing. So think about it, when you deep breathing, you're really massaging your internal organs. You're massaging your body. But the deeper you breathe, the more your lungs are expanding, the more you're compressing your organs, the better your digestion, the fresher air you're breathing in. So now it can go to the places like if you have technique like I do, it can go to your womb, it can go to your eggs. But if you're just taking shallow breaths all the time, you're not going to be able to do that. So I'm sharing a whole lot, y'all. Being super vulnerable, oh my God. Like I don't tell people about that. And a lot of people don't know about that if I don't tell them or show them. But so there you go, YouTube. Try me if you want. But anyways, so yeah. Deep breathing is one thing I've been doing lately, and I really encourage you to do deep breathing if you are wanting to improve your egg quality. It's like one of the easiest things you can do. A lot of times I say that yoni steaming is a super simple, easy thing you can do, but you got some setup. You got to do some setup. You got to have the steam. You got to have the yoni steam herbs. What you can do right now while you're watching this video is do some deep breathing. So let's just do that for about a minute. Okay, so we're just going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth for a couple minutes. So breathe in, hold it, and breathe out. My son has been doing this too. Then meditate. So we're going to do it again. Breathe in. And try to feel your stomach expanding. Hold it and breathe out.
You're not dead anymore.
Nubbin. I know y'all playing, but y'all can't say that. Hold it and breathe out. And just by doing that, you may feel a sense of relief. You should be starting to feel an altered state of consciousness almost, just more relaxation, more in your body, more connectedness with yourself. That's what I'm feeling when I do that. And even just doing that, I feel less sort of stress on my shoulder area. Right, so deep breathing is one practice that you can do to create a normative state of self-care, of wellness in your life, especially around this time. So just think about it. If you're in the mall and you're running around shopping and trying to buy stuff for either Thanksgiving or Christmas, or just prepare for maybe a New Year bash or something like that, and you're feeling really overwhelmed by all the people in the mall and the stress. I used to work in the mall, by the way, so I know exactly what that's like. I've worked in the mall for like 4 or 5 years, and every couple of seasons it gets super busy. So if you're not used to that can be really overwhelming, especially if you're dealing with your own personal fertility issues. So what you want to do is just sit down on one of the chairs. Well, you probably won't be able to do that, but just stand up somewhere, lean over the railing, and just just breathe. Just breathe, because a lot of what it is, the anxiety is coming from shortness of breath, is coming from no air getting to your brain, lack of oxygen, everybody sucking up the oxygen. And again, just knowing the chitter chatter that's going on in your brain that may be coming from family, friends, and society and things like that. And then maybe even your own negative self-talk that may sort of be wearing you down. So you really just want to take a moment to breathe. Another thing you can do is create a quiet ritual. So something that you do that is quiet, and you want to do these things consistently. That's going to help to create the normative state. So this could be something like reading, spending a few minutes before you go to your bed and reading a couple pages from a book. It could be meditating. Something else that I've been doing a lot more and wanting to get even deeper into, meditating. It could be reading out affirmations, journaling. So definitely you should be journaling. If you are struggling to conceive, it's not happening for you, journaling out your emotions is really, really going to help, because otherwise if it's bothering you, if this is something that is stressing you out, there's only so much you can sort of replay in your head without it affecting you negatively, because that's what's the stuff in your head is really your cells communicating with each other. It's your future self communicating with each other. It's your past self. It's your multiple different lives. I know this sounds crazy, but it's frequencies, all these different energies and frequencies. So sometimes the best thing you can do is to write it out and journal it out. Just journaling what you're thinking, so you can look at this and be like, what the hell? Yeah, I'm not thinking that no more. And that's one thing. Then doing this regularly, I used to journal every single day. Yeah, I created this routine for myself that, again, I teach in my fertility frequency course, but I created the routine for myself. And I don't know how I was able to practice that thing at that time without well, I do know how. It's because I had just came back from vacation or a road trip. Call it a road trip. I had just came back from a road trip, and I had a whole new routine. So sometimes you really do you gotta break your routine. Your routine. So for some of you with poor fertility, poor equality, your routine is what is messing you up. Your routine, whether it's what you do first thing in the morning, where you spend your time at, how you allocate things, people you interact with. Sometimes your routine is really what's in your way. So a lot of, and you got to break your routine, and that's why we have things like challenges and boot camps and coaches and courses and things like that. It helps you to see where you may sort of be stuck at, and sometimes your routine is really what has you in a bind. You can't sort of get to the place you're trying to be at, right? So you got to create a new ritual. Got to create a new break the habit, and your brain and your body might be fighting you and be like, no, girl, we supposed to this, or we supposed to that, or eat this or do that. But you have to create a new sort of normalcy. Like right now, I don't even know if I want to say it because I might I might jinx myself. But right now, all my children who are normally I tell them to come out when I'm making videos, but they're all in here, but they're quiet. You hear they're getting quieter. If you go back and listen to my old videos, oh my god. But so that creating a new normal state where you can actually get things done is far more ideal than fighting the season that we're in, fighting your body, or fighting whatever beliefs and things that you have, right? Generating a new normalcy. And so the next thing is saying no without guilt, right? So if you don't want to go to the family gathering, if you don't want to participate, it's okay to say no. It's okay if last year they dogged on you. If this year they're going to have some things to say just because maybe this is the one area in your life that you're struggling with, and just say no. You don't have to be there. You can maybe you can drop something off early, maybe you can drop something off later. You don't have to go and participate in the the shopping madness, that's about to happen or probably happening right now. Um, you can create your own holidays if you want to, something that is more stressful. Like, why don't we have stress relieving holidays? We should have free. We should have spa days. National spa days. We should have national um, facial days, national relaxation days. Why don't we have this? Why is it all just, and of course the reason is capitalism and money and doing all this. But if the people on a whole in a society are more relaxed and more calm, there's a lot more things that can get done, because the normal state is clarity. The normal state would be higher function. No, quiet. Shh. Higher, higher capacity for consciousness. If people are more in a calm and relaxed state. If we have National Meditation Month, I guess that y'all gonna have to vote me for president. Okay, I know Kamala tried. She tried, but she's not me. And anyway, we can do that. Right? Some other time. So. But you see what I'm saying? So the society that we live in is very stressful, very hectic, and very chaotic. And it's okay to say no to that. So, no is a complete sentence. No is, cast that vote. Let it be a no. What are they asking about? Who you voting for? They should be asking you if you even want to vote in the first place. No, right? Because what's the difference? But anyways. So now I just want to talk about craving the comfort. So I talked to you earlier about how my body has been craving comfort and connection. Some of you may be craving that comfort and connection too, and it's normal around this time. So maybe that's what it is. It's probably just normal. I'm probably not craving. I'm probably by summertime. I'm probably gonna be like, oh, it's hot. Get off me, right? But so again, so it's probably normal. And so I just wanted to ask, what if you lean into those cravings more? What if you lean into that more? If you're craving something right now, and it's okay. It could be food. It could be something else that maybe is unique to you, or something else that only you would know. It's okay to lean into those cravings, because again, these are messages coming from your body, and sometimes it's your body telling you what you know. Are you serious? Are you serious? Get down. Oh my God. Get down. So your body is already telling you what the solution is. So it could be you getting more sleep at night. It could be you resting. It could be you indulging in that high fat food that you make, because fat could be beneficial for fertility. Rest and sleep is beneficial for fertility. All the things that we are told, especially as women, that we should not be doing, and how again society just encourages us to work and shop to your drop. Are y'all serious? This stuff is hindering fertility and worsening our emotional state, our hormonal state. So sometimes you need to lean into that stuff that you are craving, or that stuff that you think is just an indulgence, or that you don't deserve, or something that that you need to put off for later. Sometimes you need to lean into that stuff. So just take a moment to think about, like, again, what are you craving right now? So let me just see. So I'm just gonna write that down. What are you craving? I know it's showing up backwards. I'm gonna probably have to use my left side of my brain or something to write it back. But I don't know. Let me try. Oh my God. Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah, my A gonna look like an A. I'm sorry. Not sure. Oh, what are we doing? What are? So I'm having to write backwards. Yeah, so that's why. That's what's happening here. Because the camera is.
Make them all. Make the cat.
Don't kick nothing, please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think I did that right. The G might be a little on the wrong side, but you get the point. So, what are you craving? We don't have to do this, do we? Oh my god! But yeah, my camera is not things up there. So there you go. What are you craving right now? So go ahead and ask yourself that, and I guess to coincide with that, you want to answer the question so you're not creating any broken sort of thing that can happen if you lead into those indulgences. And how can you actually lean into it? How can you, again, create space? We just don't go back to the previous question because I don't think I can write all of that backwards for you all right now. So, how can you create? How can you lean into those cravings, those indulgences? And even the word craving is a bad word, right? You're not supposed to have cravings. Cravings mean you're greedy. Are you really greedy if you're stressed out and you need a break? No, right? So sometimes we also got to like reframe our mindset around some of these things, right? Right, and sometimes the things that can actually help are more on the luxury end. So a lot of times we're told that only super rich people deserve luxury, or sometimes you might need to create a more luxurious routine for yourself where you have more luxury elements in your life. Okay. So again, what if you were to do that? What if you were to have more luxurious features or elements in your day? Maybe the quality. A lot of times you just go into eat tea, but you might buy the cheapest thing. Sometimes maybe just upgrading your tea or getting what you call it, therapeutic tea, and not just the generic stuff that they have for cheap. It could be consuming like a warm ground plant-based soup or something like that, something with a lot of ground fruits and ground vegetables, something with a lot of ground vegetables that's going to be more filling and rich and nutritious. It could be having a warm yoni steam, something that is going to feel you're going to feel that. Okay, that's going to feel luxurious. But maybe it could mean even upgrading your yoni steam experience, right? So maybe getting a better sort of yoni steam seat or chair or pillows. I'm actually thinking about sewing up some better yoni steam pillows for myself, and I don't know where that's gonna go. But I also sew. The girl is also a seamstress here, so that's why you see this fabric like hanging all over the place. But yeah, so I'm thinking about creating some plush yoni steam chairs. Can you close the door? When you close the door, right? And so again, hopefully you've answered that question. What are you craving, and what can you do to indulge in that craving more, right? And also, again, make sure that you are not looking at it as something that is bad or something that is negative. So the next thing I want to talk about is I really wish I could see the comments. I would have to get another phone. Let me not cook nothing. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is holistic womb care and resetting the womb. So I talked to, if you read the email or you saw this on social media, I said that I'm going to be talking to you about how you can reset your womb. So some of the things I mentioned are already going to be sort of priming your womb for renewal and for being reset. And, of course, when I say reset, like we're not talking about the womb as something. So sometimes our body does need a little support and a little help. I just had a internet situation, and so that's why I'm repeating myself. Right, and okay, and so that's why you want to like sweetie. That's why you want to have like some focus on your womb care. You really want to prioritize your womb routine. We can call it that, right? Your womb wellness. One of the reasons for this is because it's one of the most neglected parts of your body. Like we have our legs, we know they're there, we use them, We have our arms, we know they're there, we use them. Our head is sitting on top of our shoulder, we better use that, right? Our everything else is sort of in our face except the back. Somehow you can see from the back. I'm playing, but our womb is sort of like it's under us, it's like under there. It's like it's not doing anything as far as we know, and sometimes we might even be thinking it's working against us. Maybe the only time you feel it is if it's causing you pain or during your menstrual. And so sometimes a lot of times we can neglect our womb, okay, when we're not taking a shower or a bath. Maybe that's the only time you think about it is when you're bathing and cleaning yourself, or after you use the washroom. But outside of that, it's sort of just like on standby. Well, if you prioritize your womb, if you focus on your womb a little bit more, again, you basically are going to be pouring into your womb. You're going to be pouring into yourself. You're going to be nurturing your womb. You're going to be supporting your womb. And so some of the ways you can be doing this is not only by eating, again, a healthier plant-based diet that is going to send the nutrients directly to the womb. Again, also consuming certain teas. A lot of herbs, a lot of teas have an affinity for the womb, meaning that the nutrients are going to be sent directly to the uterus. They're going to be sent directly to your ovaries, to your eggs. Okay, it's going to help to stimulate blood flow and circulation and detoxification in that area, right? So if we're not ever told this, if you've never been told this, and you've never done anything to sort of focus on your womb health, then you can go 30, 40 years and be having poor egg quality, low egg quality, trouble conceiving, because we've never been told this. Now, if there was constant proper circulation, proper hormonal development in the reproductive area and womb area, who knows how long fertility could be prolonged in women. And that is one of the reasons why I think some of this stuff is just intentional. I almost cussed, but I did it in my mind. I think some of this stuff is intentional. It has to be an infertility lifestyle, because people who are sitting in their libraries in their home all day are not oblivious to this stuff, who are helping to create societies and things like that, or who are ruling and running society. They know that, look, keep them on that toxic meat, keep them on that they know, keep them on that junk food, keep them on that snacks, and they ain't gonna have no babies. Okay, which is, look where we're at today. Half of Europe or all of Europe, I don't know, zero population rate. Japan about to be wiped out. Do we really want to see the Japanese? Well, they about to go if they don't figure out something. And even America. Okay, and that's another reason why I created this channel, is because the Black fertility rate also was declining. And so and that's what's happening. And a lot of that is diet, it's mindset, it's lack of self-care, lack of acknowledgement even of the womb or fertility. Do you know how much people I meet and I tell them I'm a fertility coach, or I type it in on the computer, fertility coach, they cannot pronounce it. Fertility, and then they say the word fertility and they're like, what's that? I'm like, whoa, I need to leave this planet probably, and maybe go help the aliens have some babies, because I don't know what's going on over here. But so just even having and again, this is no shade on anyone. If of course, I know there's a lot of people. Fertility is not really. It only recently became a trendy word, and I think your girl, yours truly, man, has something to do with that. But I haven't been as active since then, but so this is no shade on you. It's a learning experience for everyone here, and there's a lot of things that I don't know that you may know, that I would love to know, that you might think I'm slow and don't know, but it's okay, because that's how we grow and we learn. But anyways, you again acknowledging your womb and having a self-care practice in place can be one thing that can help to support your womb. Okay, so So you really again need start thinking about something that you're going to do specifically for your womb, whether that's massaging your womb, drinking certain teas. And I can tell you right now, red raspberry leaf is a wonderful tea, a wonderful herb. I actually have some in my cup, but you are not gonna you can't see it. Red raspberry leaf, ginger. These are two herbs that have an affinity for the womb. I'm actually stirring the honey in my tea. It's probably cold. It's getting there. But yeah, I put the honey because I knew I was gonna have to drink it while I was live. But things like that. I mentioned ground vegetables, so like beetroot. These are things you want to start adding to your diet or your smoothie or consuming. Sometimes I make a beetroot tea and I mix that with my tea or with honey. Doing things, starting to learn what your womb likes, okay, or just having some type of womb care routine where again maybe you're only steaming regularly, and not just once a year for those of you who have tried a yoni steam but are only doing it once a year or during like a wedding or you know you could do your personal yoni steaming sessions and rituals regularly. It doesn't have to be a one-off thing, and it really shouldn't be. So that could be something that you incorporate. And I'm not saying it's just because I saw yoni steam, because the experience is amazing. Like I don't understand anybody who speaks against yoni steam. They have to, in my mind, I'm like they gotta hate. You gotta hate something over there. I hate talking about it. You must hate. And I think some of these people secretly are yoni steaming. These like doctors and things like that that speak against yoni steam. I think they secretly are yoni steaming. If they're not, they're jumping in a nice warm hot tub, okay, or hot bath. And you got to think, what is the difference? The difference is one got herbs and one doesn't. One is directly touching the vaginal region. The other, the steam is getting there and it's doing an amazing job. So, adding that to your routine can be something that you might overlook, but could be an indulgence that's not really an indulgence. It actually is very beneficial for your fertility. I guess the next thing I want to talk about is the connection between your womb and your creativity and your intuition. So when you have a clearer connection with your womb, okay, meaning that you acknowledge it better. Like this is something that grows, is like, again, your womb is like a muscle, so you develop that sort of muscle memory. You develop this, you start to have a different experience in your body, where you can become more in tune with things, including when you ovulate, including if you're even pregnant or some other things that may be going on in your body. You may be able to feel the pain in your body. If there's pain in your body, you may be able to feel and locate it better, so you can maybe know how to address it, or maybe focus your attention on it in meditations, which maybe for some of you that's a little more advanced. But when you are doing things like visualization and meditation, it's really helpful to sort of be able to visualize your womb and the connection that you have with your womb. And if you follow me, you'll be able to develop that better, where you can send healing energy. I know this sounds crazy, but this stuff works, which is why I've started to work on my back, because I know that my womb healing energy has worked on my womb. And I'm like, it's time to deal with my back, because I've healed my breast fibroid, I've healed my womb. What are we doing? Right? So anyways, being able to, and again, my back is somewhere where I sort of personally, I push back, because I know that I have my technique over there, and I'm not trying to think about it. And it does bother me mentally sometimes. It don't bother me physically. I don't feel pain like that. But sometimes I do feel a little tension, or I may get a headache as a result of me maybe not moving my shoulders enough, because I'm either on my phone or something like that. So I know the power that our bodies possess in order to heal our womb. So I'm like, look, it's time to expand that throughout my entire body, and I'm starting to do things like, intentionally grow my hair. My hair grows long, but I'm like, no, we gonna massage this too. We massaging right, we massaging everything. We if I could yoni steam my back, I would yoni. I'm gonna try it. um they're gonna have back yoni steams in a minute. Look, just make sure you put my name on it, the Nat back. I shouldn't do this to myself, should I? But yeah, I'm creating space. I'm creating space. That's all I'm doing. I'm creating space for success and for healing and positive results. So I'm making fun, but don't, I'm serious. Creating that routine and the space for your success is the same thing. You just start paying more attention to it, and as you pay more attention to it, you start to release the toxins, you start to release the blockages, you start to release the trapped emotions. Who would have thought I had trapped emotions in my back? When I tell you, it was like Keriku and the Sorceress. For those of you who have never seen the video, there's a cartoon where there's I guess you can call her a witch, and someone had like stuck a thorn in her back, and she became this mean and angry and evil sort of witch, and she ate all the men. And I guess I ain't no man for me to eat, so I don't get the sorceress status. But I got angry when I massaged my back after not touching it for months, because I've just been so into this. See this book, I get mad at this book sometimes. I get mad at this book sometimes. I get mad at these books, me writing and doing all this stuff. I just want to teach fertility. I just want to help you all to improve your fertility. I don't want to be writing all this damn stuff. I don't want to be doing no chat GPT prompts. I don't want to be doing none of that. I want to be doing stuff like this. I get really happy when I make my videos. I'm not so happy that I'm talking. I can't see your text right now or your chats. I hope y'all are chatting and texting. Please just put like a 1 in the chat, so at least YouTube can know that I'm not just yapping my guns right now. But so let's continue. So yeah, you once you start paying attention to your body, your womb, okay, magic happens again. You release the toxins, and then the nutrients can flow better because you're creating a better a nervous system connection, conscious connection. All of that stuff is happening, right? So, and again, you become more in tune with your womb, so you can be able to feel like when you ovulate, because that's what happened for me when I started. When I created my fertility routine for myself, I started to be able to tell when I was ovulating. I would feel the little ovulation twinge. I had never felt that before, never. After even being vegetarian for however many years, I don't remember right now, but I've never felt as clean as my diet I thought it was. I had never felt when I ovulated until I actually had focused attention, meditation on my womb and my body. I felt that. Okay. And so the same thing kind of happened here. I started to release a lot of the tension from my shoulder. Now I can massage it. And this was just like this week, maybe 7 days, I'm massaging the back of my neck, and I felt anger. Like it was like flowing through my body. So sometimes you might be angry and you don't know why you're angry. It's because your womb is tight. It's because it's disconnected, or it's a lot of stored energy and emotions and trauma, and you don't know this because you walking on your womb all day, you sitting on it all day, you forgetting about it all day, you're not doing anything to activate or stimulate. How do you get to it if you are not doing movements that are gently massaging it and working it out? Otherwise, the only thing to sort of move your womb or stimulate your womb is your period, is the cramps that you get. And yeah, we don't want that, do we? We don't want that to be the only sort of movement, because those cramps can be intense, right? And so maybe if you've been having a lot of anxiety or anger or anything like that, maybe you just need to touch your womb. You just need to massage. And when I say massage, I mean do like a womb massage, or just gently stimulate your groin area, because sometimes a lot of trapped tension, we have lymph nodes in our groin, and sometimes they can get swollen because there's poor circulation, and your lymph fluid doesn't have a pump. So sometimes you gotta be that pump. You gotta use these, and you gotta release the fluid. Hey, stop that! You're breaking it on purpose. You gotta release the lymph fluid. So, anyways, right. And so again, I'm just trying to say, if you with sort of like emotions, sometimes you gotta work them out. You gotta physically massage them out or something, or drink some tea. Drink some like red raspberry tea. Red raspberry tea will also stimulate your womb. You will feel the jump, and you will feel some jumping with some red raspberry tea. You might think you're pregnant. You might get pregnant because the red raspberry tea really will stimulate and activate things. I'm just trying to like hurry up and gulp so I could keep yapping.
Bonnie, can you be my friend now?
All right.
Bonnie, can you be my
friend? Again, better womb connection, better equality, better fertility, better you, right? Because imagine if all of this stuff is connected to our mental state and our well-being. We imagine being anxious or upset, you're tight, or craving that connection or lacking that connection, and you could give it to yourself, personal, emotional being, just by simply acknowledging yourself instead of putting out into the whole world and trying to please everybody and trying to be all these things for everybody. You can do it for yourself. I think that would be the best, right? Better than, because a lot of that other stuff is just stress. It's just asking for you to, it's like you agreeing to be stressed out for your whole life. Not necessary, right? So I just want to give, again, 3 steps to reset the womb. And number 1, we talked about, which is yoni steaming. So again, yoni steaming is a very ancient practice. Women have been doing this thing from forever. I don't care what the studies say. I don't care what the doctors say. I don't care what Yoni steaming is almost intuitive. When you are connected with your womb, you have to remember our ancestors were really connected with their womb. When you are connected with your womb, you are going to put some herbs in some hot water and you're going to sit on it. Prove me wrong. It don't matter whether it's a hot bath that you take and you're like, I could put some herbs in this water. And again, you have to be highly connected with nature and all of that in order to do this. Because if you're not drinking tea, you're probably not going to think to put some herbs in your water. But if you're drinking tea and you're not just drinking tea patches, if you're drinking loose leaf tea, if you're making tea for your hair, if you're making tea for your teeth, if you're making tea for your eyes, if you're healing your family, this is what our parents were doing. This is what our ancestors were doing. They were using herbs for the healing of the nation. So how they not going to use the herbs for their yoni, for their vagina? It only makes sense. So, and in these studies, they will tell you that women in Suriname, Maroon women, and women in, don't forget this, African country, Uganda, are using vaginal washes. There's another word they call when they actually put the water up inside of you, not douche. There's another word though. Basically these studies will even tell you women are doing this stuff and there's nothing that the white man or white society can do about it. They would love for them to stop, but they're not stopping. My own personal experience with yoni steaming, well, for one, I used to take the hour-long baths every day, and I was younger. I was like maybe younger. I was like much younger because I'm 20. I need to clear this up. This part of what my tea is doing is helping to clear up this darkness around my eye, which I believe is my liver, because every time I drink the dandelion, it clears up, and I haven't been drinking my dandelion, and there's something in my diet that I'm eating that I have not been able to stop right now because just the phase in the state that I'm in right now. Well, I'll just say is beans, and I eat a lot of beans, sometimes more than I would like, and it causes this darkening under my eyes, which the only thing that really gets rid of it is for me is milk thistle and dandelion, and it works wonders. And I feel like my liver has been clean. I don't know how I feel like, but like just seeing this up because I know that the dandelion. Anyways, And you see, that's a connection that you can have with your body, even if you're doing something you know you're not supposed to be doing, right? And again, just to show I'm not perfect, but sometimes you need to give yourself a little support, right? That's one thing that gives me a little support. So, so again, yoni steaming is one way to reset your womb, and so we talked a lot about that. But one of the main things it's going to do is going to balance your hormones, um, cleanse toxins from your body, improve circulation. Okay, and there's more benefits that I want to talk about. We're already an hour and 20 minutes in the video, but the next thing you want to do to reset your womb is have a plant-based diet, right? So plant-based nutrition is going to help to support your eggs. Experience with a whole heap, okay, a whole heap, right? So one thing you want to have in your diet is fats, healthy fats. So we're talking about avocados, we're talking about walnuts. Come down, please. We're talking about nuts and seeds. We're talking about omega-3 fatty acids, right? So these things are going to really help to carry the hormones, help to make sure that your hormones have what they need. And this is what they don't tell you. They don't tell you. They just tell you, eat fat, eat this, relax. I'm telling you why. I'm telling you what these things going to do for you, how to relax, what you can do to relax. Come on, don't do that. Right, so that's what the healthy fats are going to come in. They're going to be their hormone stabilizers as well. They help with your hormones. Okay, so the next thing that the nutrition is going to do again is also going to help. It's also going to help you to feel that that connection. I feel that craving, right? So again, a lot of ground vegetables. Make sure you're eating your food in season. So we're talking about, it's the winter season. Make sure that you're eating the beetroot, the root vegetables. So we're talking like parsnips. We're talking like turnips. We're talking like rutabaga, beets. I think I said that like 500 times. But my Jamaican family, we love eating yam and cassava and dasheen. I think. Hey, stop it! Stop it! One of my favorite root vegetables is Edo yam. Oh my god, that thing is like, it's like cotton candy, ice cream, mashed potato, salad, all in one. And that's like one of my favorite yams are root vegetables. Beets, I'm not, I eat beets because
I should love myself.
wow, there you go. You do what?
Kiki. Gaga.
Okay, she gonna act like a baby. But yeah, I love I like beetroots when it's in something. I stomach all this stuff. And if it's healthy, yes, you were a baby one time when they saw you. You were a baby. Now you're a big girl, but you're not coming. You already broke my phone. You're not broke it again. Yeah, I broke my phone today, holding her in my lap, preparing for this video, but we're not gonna do that today. We're not gonna do that again. So anyways, eat your root vegetables, eat your vegetables in season, and get your healthy fats, also your dark leafy greens. That's going to help to reset your womb. It's going to help to, again, make sure you're getting proper nutrients. It's going to help to ensure proper blood flow. It's going to help to ensure that, again, hormonal balance. Okay, so you're not being stimulated by a lot of the over-processed foods that have a lot of toxins. And you do have to be careful with your root vegetables. I have a cousin. Hey, stop that, please. That, some of the food that is imported here is heavily sprayed. But look, you can get these root vegetables from another country, put them in the ground and watch them grow. Okay, I put some cassava in the ground and things started to grow. I put some yam in the ground and things started to grow. Of course, we're out of season for planting it here, but there's still like beets. You can start planting these seeds. Start planting these. Like, get some beets. You can plant beets, and dark leafy greens. They love the cold, love the winter. They'll even grow in the winter. Some of them, I'm growing bok choy right now, and a lot of other things. Right, so a lot of these are comforting foods, and they're going to help you to feel nourished. They're going to help you to feel supported and loved, and some of that nutrients will go straight to your womb. If you look at a beetroot, it's kind of shaped like your womb a little bit. So another thing that's going to help to reset your womb is stress relief rituals. So again, Make sure that you're incorporating that deep breathing. Make sure that you are you have something, again, some type of practice, whether it's journaling, whether it's meditating, something that is going to help you to unwind, to create a new normative state for dealing with stress. Because a lot of the stress, a lot of it's just because we're just not dealing with energy, right? We're just not dealing with emotions. We don't have nothing in place, and we're just, the world and the wind is just taking us and rolling and tumbling around. It's just a hurricane. It's just a tornado. So sometimes um, you need to cut the grass or something. You know? This girl, hold on, come down, please. Yeah, she's just like slowly moving my light, which is creating more, casting more shadows and stuff. But those things are going to help to create those stress relief rituals are going to help to create a new normative state, which is what you want, right? And so this can also include daily affirmations, which is something else I've been doing a lot more. Of course, in my coaching program that I took, we were highly encouraged to do that. But this is something that it doesn't matter what, and if you're a successful businesswoman, you already know this. You already know that your affirmations are really, really important. But so lean into that more and don't take that so much for granted, your day just really flows so much better when you read your affirmations or you read your vision or your story for yourself. Whenever I do that, I'm untouchable that day. Of course, it seems like it freaking wears off, but the more you do it, the better it gets. And again, it becomes your new normative state, because what you are trying to achieve with that is crystal clear, laser focus on your goals and your visions. And you can't do that when you have, every month is a different focus for the a whole nation, or every week there's something new on the news. Who they locking up this week? Who did this that week? Who in connect? So sometimes you got to create your own world. You got to create your own news feed. You got to create um your own feed, and you got to feed your brain. You got to feed your womb, feed your brain, feed your fertility, right? So so those are three things to reset your womb: yoni steam and plant-based nutrition, and a stress relief ritual. Close the door. Okay, so again, you know, the problem with doing a lot of these things is that people tend to look at them as chores, or something else they got to check off on their to-do list, or some type of task or something that they have to do. That is how I was looking at my affirmations for a while. I was looking at, like, oh, I gotta read these affirmations, or I gotta read my vision, or I gotta this, I just want to do something else. No, okay, that's just your brain in its normative state trying to stop you from your future self, because your brain or your subconscious mind is comfort. It doesn't have to distribute any energy elsewhere. It doesn't mind getting woe out and toe out and having you on the floor, you know. Okay, I'm just trying to rhyme woe out and toe out and on the floor. I realized I wasn't gonna really sound good, but look, just leave me alone. That's just me trying to do my little rhyming and rapping, but it's my rapping career is done. It never started, but maybe one day, maybe one day I'll be like your fertility flow Isha. I should stop right now. I'm gonna stop right now. If you want to hear my fertility raps, which I do have one on my TikTok, I got some, okay, but we gonna save that for later. But anyways, there is empowerment in your self-care ritual routine is what I want to say, right? And so I just want to say this: every time you prioritize your womb's care, you are telling yourself that you are nurtured, that you are loved, that you are supported. Okay, and you're also showing that to the world too. You're also letting anybody else that comes within your space know that you have high value panani. Okay, you have high value pum pum. You have high value eggs. Okay, I should probably stop. See, the Jamaican and all of that stuff just comes out sometimes. I'm playing, of course, but I like to have a little fun. But again, you really are telling everybody that comes within your vicinity that you value your self-care, you value your womb, you value your fertility. So who are they to judge? They better not say nothing, keep their mouth shut, and it's none of their business. And you will, things will work out for you in your due time and your due season. And it can be empowering. This can be an empowering thought. I know a lot of times people are very negatively affected by what other people say or ask about their fertility. But That's what they want you to feel. They want you to feel disempowered. Close the door. You're supposed to feel disempowered. You're supposed to feel like you're broken and you're nothing, because this is how society has trained us. Now, what if you come walking in like, yeah, I'm dealing with fertility issues, and what are, and this is my journey, and I'm walking it with grace, with my head held high, and I know um, where I'm going, and the glory is mine, and you can shut your mouth over there, cause you look like you done got ran through with your attention. Stop, stop. I'm just playing, but yeah, you send a message to your world when you're taking care of your fertility, that again, your dreams matter, you matter, and your future matters. So don't let anybody play with your womb, okay, like that. You take your fertility into your own hands, because you are your greatest supporter. You are the one that is carrying the womb, right? So the next thing that I want to just talk about now is pampering um, and luxury, okay, and the premium self care experience that you could be creating in your own home or with yourself for your own womb, right? So, one thing you want to do is, again, I kind of talked about it a little bit, is you want to reframe self care as something that is just, as something that like is optional, right? Self care really should be something that is essential. Okay, it should be something that is an essential part of what you do, an essential part of who you are. Okay, and not to say that not even to say that you have to do all of this stuff in order to conceive. This is just my approach. You don't you might do none of this stuff and still be able to conceive. But if you want your journey, your fertility journey, to not feel like a struggle, to not feel like you are being dragged and dropped and going through a bumpy road all the time, embracing a self-care, feminine fertility luxury, high frequency, energetic experience is going to make all the difference, which is why I probably joke around too much, because I get into a very high spirited mode where I just start having a little bit of fun. Okay, so when you want to you want from any sort of like negative thoughts about narcissism, have time for it, um, and really just see how you can start fitting fertility self care into your life, right? Um, because again, it's easy to just talk ourselves out of right. It's as easy it's as easy to talk yourself out of doing a fertility self care activity as it is to talking yourself out of doing something that is hard. So do you see the connection? We are equating self care with difficulty. How are we equating self-care with difficulty? That is what is happening with a lot of women. They're equating self-care, pampering, luxury, um, womb care, womb wellness with difficulty, putting it on the same sort of frequency when it's really not. It's really not. But it is as easy to talk yourself out of doing fertility womb care, fertility self care, as it is to talking yourself out of doing something difficult, like maybe um, completing more tasks or things than you normally would, or going to Mount Everest, or preparing for a marathon. It's not a marathon. It's a relaxing activity to help you to unwind, to help that has other benefits that's going to balance your hormones. So again, it's as easy to talk yourself out of self care as it is to talk yourself out of doing something actually difficult. So if you are equating self care, fertility, womb care, anything like that with something difficult, it's time to really think about where that's coming from, and you might want to write that down, right? Um, so again, fertility self care is not just an indulgence, and I've been saying this throughout, but again, it's something that's going to help to give back to yourself, give back to your womb, give back to your body, so you can help to prepare it, because your body is going to be required to do a lot. Your body, your womb is going to be required to do a lot. So your womb is like a high value woman, and she's like, look, if you want me, what are you going to do for me? Can you pay my bills? Can you take care of can you take care of the family? Can you provide for? Now I hate to sort of put it in this way to sort of say like, oh, you're the provider or anything like that, but you're, it's not so much so, but your womb is, does have that energy and that frequency of um being provided for and being nurtured and nourished. So as a nurturer and um, as a caring or caregiver for your womb, you know, this is what you want to do. You want to nurture your womb, because if you've just been providing for your womb, or you've just been um, given to your womb, but you're not giving the right things to your womb, again, it can have the same negative effect as maybe a rich man that is just giving gifts to his woman, but never is able to spend time with her. Right. So you want to find that balance where close the door. You want to find that balance where you're able to nurture your womb, you're able to support your womb, you're able to also embrace your womb again, and put in, spend quality time with your womb, you know. And you can't do that if you see self-care or fertility, self-care, womb wellness as a chore or a task or something that you have to do. Now, one of the ways that you sort of get around this is like allowing yourself to make mistakes. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to do things every day. I don't yoni steam all every single day. I used to have a weekly yoni steam session. I don't even do that anymore, because, and even when I was doing that, I wasn't really doing it. I wasn't always able to yoni steam, because obviously sometimes I would get my menstrual. But you know, you don't have to set up your life in a way where it's a struggle or it's just something that is just by the book or by the clock. You can incorporate different things, or you can substitute things in. You can feel like it when your body craves it, and when your body craves it, right? You don't have to do things because I'm telling you, oh my god, my closet is just looking in this camera. I don't know, maybe it doesn't look as bad. I do gotta organize some things over there, but again, we're gonna do it when my womb and my body feels like to go 2 weeks ago. But so again, luxury isn't and just an indulgence. It should be just something that is easy and effortless, and it comes natural to you. But you do have to exercise, and you do have to practice it. You do have to build up that consistency, and that's why in my programs I have my ramp up, where I teach you how you can build up that consistency in different phases, so you're not doing everything on day one. I'm not going to expect any of you to do anything on day one you want that super high level experience where and you're ready for that, right? So the next thing is that you want to create a premium experience. So that's one thing you definitely want to do. You definitely want to create some sort of premium experience for yourself, because and have this set up in a way where you feel like you're maybe at a spa at home, or you feel like you are being treated like royalty, or you're being treated like a queen, or you are being pampered and experiencing a luxury experience, and be able to set that up for yourself. For myself, when I feel ready, I will set up my own little at-home yoni steam spa room. I'll use all these little silk sheets that I have, and I will set it up, and you won't be able to tell that I'm not at my yoni steam studio. Okay, which I was setting up, but we had to put that on hold for those of you who may know anything about that. But yeah, so I will also create situations that feel like, you know, they're luxurious experiences, right? So creating something like that where maybe it's not a yoni steam session, maybe it's a yoga Maybe you're creating like sort of like a yoga, luxury yoga experience, something like that, where you put some plants in the room, or you just have some essential oils, but creating somewhat of a luxury. I'm tired. I'm tired. Asking about some talking about. You always asking some dumb questions. Right? So you finally got a little response from me, like the stuff you're saying is irrelevant. Get your wife and send this to her. My channel is for women only, so if you over here lurking, I'm concerned about you. But because unless you want some yoni steam, I don't know what you want. But so again, so the next thing is to okay, so that's like one thing you can do. You can create a turn your bath experience into a more luxurious experience. So if you normally just sort of set the bath and you maybe put some Epsom salt or something, maybe you can do a little bit more. Maybe you can light some candles, essential oil scented candles. Maybe you can pour yourself some tea with again some therapeutic herbs and sip tea as well. Maybe set some music, like just piling on and adding on. So, and sometimes it's not so much about adding on everything and so many things, but just creating the experience, making it feel um, more elite or just more luxurious, and it's going to be different for everybody. So what feels luxurious for you might not feel luxurious for somebody else. But like for me, for example, I would put plants in my bathroom, and I would put a water little dripping waterfall. Close the door. I will put extra stuff. I might have a whole tea station in my bathroom, so that way I could constantly drink tea, of course, out of a prettier cup. So sometimes it's just about making things prettier. It's just about making things nicer. I saw one woman. Yes, this channel is for women. I'm pretty sure you know about that. I don't really talk anything about men, and you've been on my channel for a long time. So unless you are benefiting from anything that I'm telling you, you claimed you had a woman. I ain't seen her yet. So I have to believe that you're literally just, I don't know. So so yeah, improving your experience in that way can just make it better for you. And again, it's what works for you. It's not necessarily going to work for everyone. Like you might like a different scent of incense or essential oil. So just thinking about ways how you can make even something as simple as a bath experience more luxurious. How you can treat yourself better, basically doing whatever you're doing. It could be a whole day of solitude where you do nothing. That could be a luxurious experience for you. That could, people pay to go on retreats to just sit down and do nothing. Think about the world we live in where people will pay money, thousands of dollars to go sit down. Women, stressful, toxic, and right about now is about the time they do it because it's when people go on their vacations and things like that, right? So just think about that. But what if you didn't need a vacation from your life? What if you didn't need a vacation from your work? What if you didn't need a vacation from your, what you go through every day? What if you could create this every weekend, every other couple days? Think about how your stress load would be reduced and how much maybe better your eggs would be and your fertility would be, right? Um, so just think about that for a moment. All right, so I talked a little bit about how doing some things can improve your emotional and your physical health, right? But again, when you know that you are sort of the orchestrator and you are sort of manifesting the life that you want, there's a lot of empowerment that comes with that, rather than it being where you just pull up in your car to the spa and they do all these things for you and they send you on your way, or you go somewhere else and you sit in an office or you sit here and you get a therapist. I'm not saying don't get a therapist, but some of the stuff we really need to just be able to do for ourselves, right? And some of these things are things that we can do for ourselves, but because we don't um, we don't prepare or we don't put the time aside in order to do these things, then we need these other places, and sometimes they can give us subpar treatment when when you increase your standards for yourself, then other people, again, you tell the world, remember, you tell the world um, how to treat you or to treat you better, kind of like I'm telling Ronald over here that he needs to um, okay, anyways. But yes, so you definitely when you can create a better experience even for yourself in things that you do daily that you might not put enough attention and time to, but when you elevate that experience, again, that resonates within your body. That resonates, that sends a frequency and energy to your body that you are highly loved, highly valued, and capable of new life. Okay, and so that's really one of the messages you want to send your body. You want to send your body this message constantly that you are capable of new life. You are capable of creating a better life for yourself. You're capable of creating life, period. Close the door. Right. And so did I talk about that already? Talked about that, I think. Okay, so one of the final things I want to talk about is, again, sort of leaning into your body's cravings. We talked about it a little bit, but really just listening to your body, really paying more attention to what it is that your body wants, what it is that your body needs, catering to yourself, catering to your body. Don't let days and days go by where you are not tending to maybe an emotion that you're feeling or a thought that you are thinking that is it's constantly repeating itself, but you just haven't been giving it the thought. Um, Making sure that you are paying attention to that. Right. So if your body is craving warmth, for example, make sure that you warm up, because sometimes our body is cold and we can ignore that, especially for work reasons. Sometimes I experience that, like, oh my, I should probably put my jacket on. Like, I'm just so busy working that I might not do that. Right. But even like something like that, your body might be craving warmth. Well, guess what? Um, your body cooling down too much, that can affect your eggs. It can affect your womb. Your body still wants to create a state of homeostasis, and so any little thing can sort of trigger to your body. This is not a safe time. This is not the right time. Um, Throw this off or throw that off, right? And of course, as women are, and our body does have a lot of things in place to keep the homeostasis going. But there are certain points in our cycle when we can be affected by external factors, right? And so we want to make sure that we're not sort of neglecting what our body desires, and just being too cold or too hot is one how you can maybe be paying attention to your body a little bit more, and what it needs. If you're thirsty, drink water. If you're tired, go to sleep. If you are needing more space for yourself, give yourself more space. um, you know Also, again, if you're craving more connection, maybe with your partner or maybe with a family member, give them a call, or find a supportive community. If you don't have the ability to do that, find a supportive community that can help to support you, especially on your fertility journey. I really encourage everyone to have some sort of supportive community, if you can, and especially one that's really tight knit, not necessarily just Facebook groups, because sometimes the Facebook groups, they are, it's not as tight. You know what I'm saying? It can be, but and it doesn't matter. It really, you just want to start somewhere. You just really want, if you're craving connection, then sometimes that means you need to reach out again. Your body might need to feel as though you have the support that you need, and your body and your mind are sort of working as one, but sometimes we're not seeing the connection, right? So if you're having a desire, if you're having a craving, sometimes you really have to indulge, or you really have to fulfill that sort of craving, right? So again, I mentioned if you're craving quietness or anything, or you need a long time to go ahead and do that, right? So that was that for my pampering and luxury section, are creating a self-care experience. And now we are going to close off. Okay, we are almost done, and I just want to leave you with some final thoughts and reflections um, before we leave, right? So I just wanted to sort of recap and that again, wound care and creating a space can be very empowering, and these things can help you to enhance your fertility, enhance your egg quality. It can help you to balance your hormones, to improve your blood flow, and again, release a lot of trapped energy and emotions from your body that may be hindering your fertility. Um, the next thing you want to do is you can focus on this. What? So you don't need to do everything perfectly. We talked about that already. You don't need to do everything perfectly. Just again, a small act of self-care or something that you do can send the proper message to your body at the right time. Um, and here's one thing: I don't want to leave you thinking that, oh, if I just do this self care activity, or if I just nurture my womb, or if I just relax or breathe or meditate or yoni steam or whatever, that I'm going to get pregnant, or it's going to improve my eggs overnight. That's not what I'm saying. Again, these things really do take time and consistency and persistency. Is that a word? Persistence. We're just going to say that. Okay. Right. And the reason for that is because your eggs take about 90 days to improve or to develop. No, don't come in here. Y'all know I'm making this video. So your eggs take about 90 days to improve. And really that's like mid range. That's like low mid. That's just average. We'll just say that. Some women, it could take a little bit longer to really break through that threshold. And for some women, it can be a lot quicker. Maybe you just had a little blockage and maybe the yoni steam cleared it up, or maybe you just had a little hormonal imbalance. But for some women who maybe have had years and years of, a certain habit or a certain just something some certain blockage, we'll just call it blockage, then it could take a little bit longer. And that's okay, right? Because again, if you haven't gone through menopause, and I want to say even if you're in perimenopause, you can still conceive, you can still improve your fertility, you can still improve your quality. Now, studies might say, oh, you can't reverse fertility once you've gone through menopause. I don't necessarily believe everything that these studies say, because a lot of these studies are limited, they're skewed, they need to be done over and over again. And at the end of the day, if your body wants to do whatever it wants to do, it's going to do whatever it wants to do. You just have to give it the right things, right? So it's not about perfection, but it's about being persistent, and it's about being consistent, right? Right. So again, you just need to be sort of like in the right mindset, right? Body set. We're just going to call it that, meaning that you're giving your body what it needs, and it is working its way to better function, right? And so that's one of the things that I just want to leave you with, not just thinking that, oh, this is just like something that you just do one time and it's going to get you pregnant. I'm not making that, because that would sort of be misalignment with even how your eggs operate. So we really want to work with the time frame that it usually takes eggs to improve. So aim for doing this for about 90 days, which is about. So aim for doing this for about really 3 to 4 months. And for me, it has become a lifestyle. So it's not something that definitely, if you're working with me, that you're going to just want to do once. just want to do during the program, eventually your body becomes adapted to this and it starts to desire and crave more of these sort of nurturing self-care activities. Um, so think about this. What is one thing that you can commit to doing um, this season to nurture yourself? Right. So we're in this hectic season. It doesn't have to be hectic, right? We can change that. We can reframe that. What is one thing that you are doing what is one thing in this abundant, beautiful season that you want to do um, to nurture yourself, right? So think about that. What is one thing you want to do in this season to nurture yourself? Okay, that we talked about, or maybe something that you think of separately. The other thing is, um, okay, so we have some exciting news as well. So again, if this conversation resonates with you, I do want you to stay connected. So make sure that you have liked this live stream or like this video. I haven't asked yet, but make sure that you like this live. Because it's I do have some exciting information, and it's going to help you to go deeper in your fertility journey really soon. I'm not going to talk too much about it right now, but just make sure that you like this video and then also check my description. I actually have a free download in my description for you to get a Black Friday fertility checklist, something that's going to help touch some things about here as well. And right, but I do have some really important and are excited coming really soon. If you want to know about that, definitely you could also join my waitlist. So just the link is going to be in the description for that as well. So make sure to pick up, again, the free guide in my description as well as join my waitlist. And so other than that, thank you for participating in this live, as well as working with me and my, I guess me being a little silly here and there. And again, I mean no harm to anyone. If anything, I probably said some stuff by myself I shouldn't have said, but all right, so I just want to express a lot of gratitude for you all for coming to watch this, because I know we spent about 2 hours, which is longer than I normally um and again, remember that this is a season for you, okay, for yourself, for you to take your self-care and to prioritize your fertility, for you to be for you to experience renewal, regrowth, and to reclaim your fertility and your power. So I really hope that this video meets you well, and that I've been able to help you on your journey in any way. And again, thank you for watching this video for this